Hello and welcome to the Truth About Real Estate Investing for Canadians. And it's a pain to be on this truth journey. Sadly, I learned a young man in his late 20s recently went bankrupt, even though he had a 5-figure coach. My socials are on fire as I posted a picture of me interviewing Alex Solga, who, along with his business partner, recently declared bankruptcy just this past August. They both invested heavily in education. It didn't save them, unfortunately. They had a coach. But from an outside observer's opinion, it really looks like ego and greed drove them into some really bad investment decisions. It's really sad to see lives destroyed. Theirs and those of their investors, especially their promissory note holders, who are owed millions, and no one knows when they'll see any of that money returned. There's a reason we do not recommend here at iWin Real Estate, my team. There's a reason we do not recommend flipping to novice clients, especially with those who do not have renovation and construction backgrounds. The topic always comes up with new investors thanks to reality television and social media. Just remember, reality TV and social media is not real. The truth about real estate is that the successful flippers I know have a portfolio of buy and hold rental properties for the long term. All veterans know that there's a lot of money to be made just in holding. I spoke to a friend this past weekend who's been holding on to his land purchases for 20, 30 something years already, and he still hasn't built anything. He still hasn't sold anything. He sold off some and taken some money. But for the vast majority of his portfolio, he's just sitting on it and developing it, which is largely just a soft cost and soft effort process. Thankfully, his properties keep going up thanks to the pandemic, thanks to this housing crisis, thanks to the loosening of zoning restrictions, but there is no cash flow if you ask him. Actually, I literally did ask him. That's what he said. There is no cash flow. Let me repeat. Donato's own words are that there is no positive cash flow until he either sells or actually builds something, or sells or rents it out. Build something to rent out. The truth about real estate is it's not all sexy, but the returns to me and my clients are worth it. As I continue to conduct strategy and portfolio reviews with my past clients, they reinforce for me how life-changing investing in real estate has been. Our conversations are not about fear or loss. It's about growth, how to improve cash flow, the path to 6-figure cash flow per year, RESPs as they call them, real estate savings plans for their children. The longer a client's been with us, in general, the greater their success, as time in the market is a profitable factor in my experience. And again, I've been investing since 2005. I've been full-time real estate since 2010. It's a slow, boring process in earning, but it's been earning my clients millions of dollars who are everyday, hardworking Canadians. So please don't make the same mistakes as others out there. And you coaches out there, please do not give bad advice. I spoke to a new investor on the weekend who also pays 5 figures to be part of a program, and they get a coach. Yet they invested in a non-legal duplex. This is in Hamilton, so it's an area I know very well. I have properties on neighboring streets, so I know the area well. Their realtor's opinion. So this property currently has 6 students residing in the basement. 6 students in a 3-bedroom. Again, the property is non-legal, as in there's no permits. No one's inspected the property for building or fire code. In her realtor's opinion, it should be okay. Though no one's told this investor that the property is actually in the new rental licensing area. Later this year, that property will be required to apply for rental licensing. And for anyone who knows, which is pretty much everyone in my circles, they know a fire inspection is required, and a fire inspector will not be happy with what they find. So how this subject did not come up before she bought this house, I do not know. And just a reminder, ignorance is not a legal defense. I'm not a lawyer, though. Please go ask your lawyer. How do I know she has a problem? I've met with the now head fire inspector at the Hamilton Fire Department, and I've asked him how to operate my business safely. I have a pretty good understanding of both building and fire code, having been a part of hundreds of renovations between my clients and I. Plus, my own morals and ethics wouldn't allow me or my client to operate a rental with the potential of someone getting hurt in a fire. Do you know how a fire or city inspector actually shuts down? I'm doing air quotes for those listening. Do you know how fire or city inspectors shut down a rental property? It's not like they bar the doors or change the locks. This one time, as part of an inspection condition on a commercial property, I had a local fire inspector with the local fire department inspect the property. I, of course, had written permission from the seller. The next day, they left a notice on the door. They were that quick to enforce code based on their findings. So they left a note, kind of like what the courier companies. It's a sticker note from on letterhead from the fire department about the improper use of an extension cord. The notice stated that the fine would be $1,000 if not remedied, and $1,000 for each month after that. Again, it was really something really minor. I just unplugged the extension cord and I let the seller know, and that this would be coming. It's just a common courtesy, in my opinion. Anyways, just me unplugging the extension cord and putting it away, that put this owner back in compliance. So investors would be aware, operate above board or live with the consequences. And for those of you looking for coaches or educational programs, do comparison shop. There's some of them that are great out there, and there's a lot of them that are newer, and with newer staff who've had trouble scaling, who have trouble training their staff. Again, go ahead and do comparison shop if you can believe it. But I was asked a question on questions to ask as part of interviewing a coach as part of your due diligence. I suggested asking, and this is the first time I've ever thought of this. I suggested asking how many bankrupt past coaching clients they have as part of just one question of a longer list. So this is the first time I've ever suggested that question. There are a good number of operators out there in this industry who both care and can deliver results and have a track record of successful clients, but a lot more recently have just joined the industry in the last 3 to 5 years, and they're leaving disaster in their wake. Some have already disappeared, thankfully. So choose wisely and comparison shop. Feel free to attend any of our events where we take investors inside our clients' properties. We share their numbers, our forecasts. You can network with them. You can network with other past clients, and they'll tell you how it is to be coached by us at no extra out-of-pocket expense, as we are licensed realtors. We get paid via realtor commissions when selling homes. Best-in-class coaching at no extra cost, delivering results that suit most investors most of the time since 2010. Honestly, our track record it's been pretty amazing, and I'm very grateful for the clients who've trusted in us. Speaking of events, our next IWIN meeting is a hybrid event of online and in person. Our presentations will be delivered via Zoom, so people will be invited to attend, and the recordings will be available for anyone who can't make it. Followed by on the following Saturday, we'll have a boots on the ground educational tour in Hamilton on Saturday, April 22nd. We'll all meet at the number 1 ranked coffee place in all of Hamilton. I truly believe that any area expert should know where the best coffee places are. And then after the coffee, we'll go for a tour inside and out of an income property or two. Often they're owned by my clients or good friends of mine. If no one has something available to show, then we'll show properties on the market. Following that, a mastermind lunch with like-minded investors, including some of my clients and myself. The vibe is friendly, as there's no pressure, and sharing. It's a sharing crowd, because honestly, Cherry and I tend to attract nice people. And on the other side of that, the sharks know to stay away. They know I know who they are. If you're looking for that place where theory meets reality, then you found it. Keep an eye out for the invite on our email newsletter. Again, save the date though. Otherwise, Saturday, April 22nd. If you're not on my email newsletter, then you are welcome to join the over 10,000 plus hardworking Canadians already on my email newsletter. This podcast website www.truthaboutrealestateinvesting.ca. All our show notes are posted there. And on the right side, you can enter your name and email address on the right side to get on the list, and let's go. If you're looking to make a difference in your financial future, create that intergenerational wealth that actually works with a group that actually has a significant track history, I think we're the place to go. So quick market note, the market is gaining momentum with fixed mortgage rates starting to come down. We've seen some good discounts. Our clients are getting some good discounts. We had a client just sign a 3-year for 5.09 on a 3-year, and that's for an investment property. I just noticed my neighbors are selling in days and not weeks. So the market's moving pretty quickly, and same goes with the good properties that we identify for income opportunities. And on to this week's show. Today we have the host of the mega conference, the Multifamily Conference, Seth Ferguson, on the show. If you were at the event headlined by Kevin O'Leary last year, it was a really great event. Seth has been, however, inspired to 10x as he's got headline speakers, Mr. 10x himself, Grant Cardone, and Alex Rodriguez, who is Alex is best known for his successful baseball career. At one time, he was baseball's highest paid athlete. More recently, he's been on Shark's Tank as one of the sharks, and he's a mega apartment building investor himself. Very successful investor based on the reference checks I've done. The event will be a big one, somewhere around 2,000 attendees, I'm guessing, from all over North America, expected for this 3-day event. I'll have a booth there, so if you're coming by, please come by, say hi, and I'll hopefully see you at one of the networking events or lunch or breakfast. There's so many events. I do enjoy networking, and if networking is your thing, then you'll likely want to be at, again, Canada's largest investor conference of the year. Seth is here today to share about what it takes to run a successful conference, what one can expect at the conference, how there is something for everyone from both beginner to mogul. There's even a whole day educated on the Friday of the 3-day weekend. The Friday is meant for beginners. And if you like VIP treatment, Seth has spent a lot of time and effort and money to make sure that the VIPs will enjoy exclusive networking events at exclusive, expensive venues. But I'll let Seth explain that to you. Seth is also working on some investment stuffs. I know it's underselling it. For those who don't know, Seth's focus is on acquiring apartment buildings, mostly in the States, and even some housing developments. He'll announce at the conference, but you'll get a sneak peek of it on today's show. Now, for a disclaimer, the lawyers always want me to read. The information and opinions expressed in this podcast are solely for educational and informational purposes and should not be considered as investment advice. The hosts and guests of this podcast are not licensed financial advisors. How true. Not licensed brokers or registered investment advisors, and their comments should not be construed as recommendations or endorsements of any specific investment, security, or strategy. Me personally, my team of coaches and I are licensed realtors of Rockstar Real Estate Brokerage, and proud to be. While easy to obtain a realtor's license, not all are the same. Our rates are in line with the market, but we're 4-time winners of Realtor of the Year to real estate investors. And our track record includes 50 or so self-made millionaire and multimillionaire investor clients. Investing involves risk, including possible loss of your principal investment or worse. Before making any investment decision, you should conduct your own research and consult with a licensed financial advisor to determine the suitability of any investment for your specific financial situation and investment goals. The hosts and guests of this podcast make no representations or warranties as to the accuracy, completeness, or timeliness of any information discussed in this podcast. This podcast is not responsible for any errors or omissions or the results obtained from this use of this information. Listeners are advised to use their own judgment and seek the advice of professionals before acting on any information provided in this podcast. The podcast shall not be liable for any damages, including but not limited to direct, indirect, special, or consequential damages arising out of or related to the use, inability to use, or reliance on any information provided in this podcast. That was a mouthful. Please enjoy the show. Hello, Madman Seth.
Hello, Erwin.
What's keeping you busy these days?
Oh, just trying to run this crazy conference, and trying to do some cool things in real estate. So yeah, lots of stress, lots of anxiety, lots of craziness. You know how it goes.
No, I don't actually. Not at this level.
You know exactly how it goes. You are the wealth hacker himself. And you know exactly what goes into running these crazy events.
Thankfully, my spouse was involved.
Yes.
So we had two people, two heads at this.
Yeah. Well, I just roped Darcy in whether she likes it or not.
Oh,
so,
yay!
Yeah.
You guys have gone on your honeymoon, right?
No, the wedding hasn't even happened yet. So this year we're running a conference, we're running another event later on, and then we're running a wedding.
When's the wedding?
August the 6th.
Oh, lots of time.
Yeah, and then we're planning on going to Italy for 3 weeks, so it'll be nice.
So there's a lot. So now I'm thinking about it. I understand why I haven't been invited to the bachelor party yet. So understood. We got time. We got runway.
Yeah, we got to pull off a couple of events first, and then we can party. So yeah, Darcy is not too happy. She's like, Seth, we have a wedding, and then you're running another conference, and then so it's a lot of work.
Conferences are like weddings. It's good practice.
Well, I told her we have such a professional team now.
Yeah.
We can just run the wedding like a conference.
Yeah. Maybe just bury some of the costs in the conference for the wedding.
Yeah, maybe.
Wedding. You're a planner. No, you're not a wedding planner. You're a planner. Change your title. Change these invoices.
Yeah. We'll just get everything rolled over. Perfect. Yeah, we're just prepaying everything through the conference. So yeah, well, I'll get some tax advice from Cherry, and I'll see what we can do.
Oh, please don't mention my wife's name because I gave a supposed tax tip. And obviously, it's not a good tax tip. I was just being sarcastic. But yes, there's a conference. I know you had a lot of fun with the last one.
Yeah.
The Multifamily Conference. That was May last year.
Last year. Yeah. So thinking back, we were locked down 2 months before the conference happened.
Yeah.
That's the crazy thing.
Mm-hmm.
And then we put it together it was insanity.
Mm-hmm.
I have never had such an insane period in my life. We pulled it off. It was great.
Mm-hmm.
And then just hopping back on the hamster wheel for number 2.
Right.
Yeah.
And this is 10X. This is 10X the conference of the original.
We are
because we know all sequels are better.
All sequels are better.
Yeah,
and we are
Die Hard
10X.
2 was better.
Exactly.
Empire Strikes Back was better. All sequels are better.
It was, yes. Yeah. Maybe not Frozen 2.
I'll trust you on that. I haven't seen it.
Yeah, but yeah, we are literally 10xing the conference. My personality is very out there. I like to push boundaries and challenge myself. So last year was great. We had Kevin O'Leary from Shark Tank. We were the first major real estate event to get back in person in the country. So that was really cool. Great crowd. Mm-hmm. We had a little over 1,000 people last year. So it was great. This year we are going a lot bigger, moving the venue. So we're right downtown at the Metro Toronto Convention Center. I rented out the CN Tower. I rented out Rebel Nightclub for the after party. So we're just going bigger and better with everything.
You could rent at a bigger place than the CN Tower. I heard there's taller structures in the world now than the CN Tower.
There are taller structures. We'll go next year to Abu Dhabi or something.
Got it.
Yeah, but the CN Tower, it's going to be so cool.
Right,
so basically what we're doing there is it's a VIP networking kind of setting. And we've got some really cool stuff we're doing. There'll be the nice vibe, and then it's all windows right in the observation deck, and that's what we've rented. Mm-hmm. And it's just going to be awesome on the Saturday. Yeah.
Inspiring views are always a good backdrop for inspiring conversations.
Yeah, and it's I think it's the energy too, right? You're in a unique setting. When was the last time somebody rented out the CN Tower and had a private party?
I don't get invited to those things.
Well, you're invited this year. So, but yeah, it's just a cool, unique experience that you normally wouldn't have. Plus, you're in the room with 200 other really cool real estate people from all over the place. That's where things happen. Networking and the connections are where it's at. So, whether you take them zombie shooting or whatever.
Is that where we're going? Is it the secret event?
Oh, we should. I had so much fun. I took my so if anybody's listening, Erwin does this what would you call it? Virtual
reality. Yeah, you put in a headset.
Yeah, and you do it with like some really cool real estate people. And I got hooked the first time I did it with you. So I took my family back, and we had such a blast.
Darcy had fun too?
Oh, Darcy loved it. My mom went, and she like crushed everybody. So
it's always funny how that happens.
Yeah.
There's always a dark horse, someone you don't expect to do well. Right. I remember once I went with a cop, and they performed really poorly.
Oh, maybe the sights were off on the gun. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. And speaking of high end, okay, so yeah, networking, especially these times, networking is incredibly important. Who you know, who can make those introductions. Just like even before we're recording, we're talking about some, doing some reference checks as we'll make some connections for you after this show is done. I hear you have some somewhat successful people speaking.
Yeah, we might be doing okay.
Yeah.
Just going down the list, like I'm so excited. So our celebrity speakers, Grant Cardone, $4.5 billion worth of assets under management.
U.S. dollars.
U.S.
So
dollars.
That's about 8 million Canadian then?
Yeah, like at
Canadian?
30%.
Yeah.
And then like Alex Rodriguez, like A-Rod, most people don't know this. So most people know him from baseball and being a guest on Shark Tank, but he owns over $1 billion worth of real estate. Like he's huge, over 15,000 multifamily units. Mm-hmm. So a huge guy there.
I heard don't sleep on A-Rod. I heard he's actually incredibly bright.
Yeah, like he's been great so far. And so what we're doing is we're doing like a fireside chat. So I'll be talking with Alex on stage. I'm actually really looking forward to that. And then we've got Janet LePage, so CEO of Western Wealth. She's talking about how she went from 0 to 7 billion. Really excited for Janet. Then we've got Brad Sumrock. Brad, if you are not tuned into the U.S. multifamily scene, Brad is a superstar when it comes to syndicating deals. His students have, I'm going to mess up this number, but I think they've acquired over like $6 billion in multifamily apartment buildings. Then we've got Mel and Dave Dupuis, who are talking about creative financing and how they grew their portfolio. We've got Dalia Barsoum. She was a financing, and she was a great hit last year. Marcin Rhodes is coming back. We the list is huge. We've got two guys from Equiton coming to talk, Danielle Chason. I'm so pumped up for the speaker roster we have. It's going to be so much fun.
And this is 2 days.
Two days. Well, it's actually 3 days.
3 days. Sorry. I knew that. Sorry.
Yeah.
My apologies.
Yeah. So what we did was last year, what we found is a lot of people were coming to the conference who had real estate experience, right? So they may be doing like single family homes, like small plexes, and they were interested in learning. But like, let's say Joe Fairless last year came and he's at like 3 billion now. When he was on stage talking, if you're kind of just getting into multifamily, you might not get the most out of what he was saying. So this year on the Friday, we're running a special boot camp workshop just for beginners. So it's myself. We've got, I think, 5 other speakers coming in, and we're covering all the fundamentals. So that way, after the Friday, when you've got Janet on stage, Grant on stage talking about these bigger concepts, like you'll know exactly what they're talking about and how it relates to what you're doing. Mm-hmm. So it's like my goal is to make it the best experience possible for somebody who comes. So we learned from last year that, hey, like a lot of people are coming to learn. And so that's why we're running the boot camp. So hopefully I'll see lots of people there. We are like capped with numbers with that room. So get it while you can.
Where can people get information?
Oh yeah,
where can they get the tickets?
Yeah, multifamilyconference.ca. Today, so today we're 88% sold out of VIP tickets. So there's just a small handful left. And last year, like Platinum sold out too, VIP sold out. Like we will sell out. So it's kind of cool because we're not dealing with all the stuff from last year with the lockdowns.
Yeah, you're nuts to have dealt with that last time.
Oh, I was like,
you were so kind to offer refunds.
But you know what? Like I'm so stubborn, and like Darcy will like. She tells me like I'm the most stubborn person she has ever met. So like when I told her I was going to run a conference, like there was nothing stopping me. Like we were going to run the conference no matter what. And I think like there's good things with that, but there's also like bad things. But luckily it worked out. So yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe you pulled that off.
Yeah, it was insane. And you look at
because I was worried for my conference in November, which was. You're month 5. I was month 11. Yeah, you're 6 months ahead of me, and I was worried for my conference.
You know what? It was like the stress level. Like I have never been so stressed because the amount of money that was on the line And not only like the money, it's like your reputation and everything. And when you start seeing all the other events like postpone, like big major events, it's like,
or someone quiet.
yeah,
So, yeah, someone quiet because they didn't do well.
yeah. And it's like, oh shit, like what am I doing?
Yeah, yeah.
But you know, I had a good team, and I think like, you know, as we grow with the conference and the events and the team we have, like I'm becoming a better and better leader, because like, you know, I've never run a 30-person company before, and now we've got like all these staff. So I think last year it was like I stayed true to the vision. I was like, no, like we're going to pull this off, and everybody kind of fell behind me. And I think the people really made it happen, because without the key people we have on the team, like there was no way it was going to happen at all. So yeah, crazy, the craziest thing I've ever done, hands down.
So what can someone expect to learn? Like there's a lot. That's a pretty loaded question, isn't it?
Yeah.
So sorry. So the first day is what? Half day, full day?
It's a full day.
Oh boy.
Yeah, full day.
And that's the Friday. That's the boot camp.
Friday.
So it's not for everyone, but
yeah, just for beginners. Yeah.
I totally agree with you. A lot of beginners do not have basic grasps of concepts. They don't know like fiat currency, hard asset. Don't know how to use a spreadsheet to calculate cash flow.
Yeah.
I deal with these things on almost a daily basis.
Yeah, and it's, you know, like I want somebody to come to the conference, get the very most out of it, right? And I was thinking, okay, well, like if Brad Sumrock's on stage talking about syndication, you know, a beginner might not know what that means, what he's referring to. So it's like, okay, well, let's get them the right information. Let's build the foundation with all that, like financing, you know, structuring, like how you make money in deals, like all that kind of stuff. Let's get you the basic foundations. And that way, when Brad's talking, it's like, oh yeah, I know exactly what he's talking about. And then you just have better comprehension. But yeah, for the main conference, like what somebody's looking to learn, we have a number of different reasons why people come to the conference. We do lots of surveys. Number one, like 47% of the audience wants to learn how to raise more money, because without the money, without the capital, the deal doesn't happen. And you know, I take it very seriously, like who's on our speaker roster and who's covering what, because I want to make sure we cover the full breadth of the multifamily business. So raising capital is a big component of what we're doing at the conference, because that's the number one concern people have. Number two is deal flow. Like, where can I find the deals? How do I get better deal flow? How do I underwrite the deals and find a great deal versus a good deal versus a bad deal? A
lot of people make that mistake too.
Yeah, huge mistake. And
they raise expensive capital to put into a bad deal. They just don't
Exactly.
realize their mistakes as they're getting in.
Exactly. So that's the second most requested topic at the conference. So we've definitely got that covered. And then we talk about structuring. Then we talk about then we have creative financing, the financing component of that. We talk about management. You know, the value levers in a multifamily deal. So basically, when somebody comes to the conference, you're going to walk away after those 3 days or 2 days, depending on how you want to participate, with the most comprehensive insight into the multifamily business, whether you're brand new, just getting started, or we have people, because I see who buys tickets, like we've got people with like billion-dollar portfolios in the VIP section, people with half a billion-dollar portfolios in the VIP section. So it's not just for beginners. Like we've got some very experienced operators coming. And you know, networking is a big part of that. But also, like, you know, Janet LePage is running a huge company. Like, anybody can learn from somebody like that. Grant Cardone, huge reach. Anybody can learn from Grant. Like, it's like my feeling is, whenever I go to a conference, like, it doesn't matter who the speaker is. If they can just give me one thing, it's more than worth it. Yeah.
That's the interesting thing about working with Grant was because we were hosting Grant.
2018, right?
2019.
Oh, 2019.
Got it up before the pandemic.
Yeah.
We had no idea. Oh God, that would have ruined us if the pandemic got us.
Yeah.
Anyways, my point where I was going was a lot of people do not like him. And, but what a lot of people I don't find understand is, like, for example, like Don Cherry. A lot of people don't like him. A lot of people like him. Also, people have to understand. Oh, same with Kevin O'Leary. A lot of people don't like him.
Yeah. Very polarizing figures, but that's important though. You need to be polarizing
to get attention. Absolutely.
Yeah.
What I think a lot of people don't understand is that sometimes that's a character. Beyonce is a better example. Beyonce is a character. that because she's incredibly shy and so she had to create a character that could go on stage and, you know, dance the way she does and dress the way she does and sing the way she does, right? I think whenever I've spoken to Grant off camera, he's very different.
And you know what's very interesting? So, you know, same thing with Kevin, right? Everybody sees Kevin on TV. You know, he has his one-liners, great. Yeah. In person, such a gentleman, like great guy, like very down to earth, like very easy to talk to. With Grant, if you look at Grant, when he first started on social media, you can see the change in the persona. Because like you're always testing, hey, what's working well, what's not working well. You know, the way I am in person is very different to me
on this podcast.
Yeah, on this podcast. Well, no, like we're pretty good, but yeah, like, you know, me like refereeing a hockey game, I'm a very different person on the ice because I got to lay down the law. So,
well, it's the job.
Yeah, yeah.
No different than being like a social media personality. It's a different role.
Yeah, for sure. But if you're always vanilla, nobody like you have nothing to say. Right. You have to have strong opinions, and you have to like plant your flag somewhere, and you will repel some people, but then it will increase your attraction level to the people that really resonate with it.
Back to Grant, I don't share a lot of his opinions, but he's also he's a gentleman. Yeah. Like when the camera's not running, like when we're just talking normal, he is very polite. He's very kind. His staff love him. The ones I've talked to, I'm sure. Of course, he has staff that don't like him. Yeah. He was very public. He slashed like 2/3 of his company. Yeah. Early pandemic. Yeah. So of course he's going to have people that absolutely despise him. But the people who stayed on, I think a lot of them really like him, and I'm pretty sure a lot of his investors are very happy with him. Right?
Yeah, and I think too, like what happens is, you know, when you're polarizing, like you build your tribe, right? And that's what's really going to attract people to you. And that's something like, you know, I'm not great at. Like I have to get better in terms of really planting my flag and making my opinions known, and that way I will repel the wrong people and attract the right people.
Well, Grant said something, I forget when he said it. His point was exactly about his investors. His investors really like him because he pays them every month or whatever it is. Yep. Right. And this is not a promotion for anything that he sells. Right. You know, first of all, it's American. So never mind. It's really hard for Canadians to get a hold of. Anyway, my point is he has lots of fans among the people that matter most to him, like for his employees and his investors. And I find that generally true in my observation as a real estate investor. Like there's some people out in the industry I don't like, but I always find their investor still likes them because they make them money. Yep. So for anyone who wants to have more happy people in their lives, make them money.
Exactly. And the other thing too is you can't, you know, he has built such a very impressive like group of companies that he runs. Like you cannot do that. Well, I guess you could. Like there are examples where you can be an absolute dick and run a company, but like people have to want to follow you to get to that kind of level. Yeah. So same thing, like, you know, you look at yourself and Cherry, like you guys are good people and people want to work with you and follow you because of who you are. Like if you're just being a dick, like everybody's going to leave.
Yeah. Adam would be gone.
Yeah. So yeah, like, and Grant's team has been great to work with, like really excited to have them be a part of this. And but my goal is to put like the best lineup of speakers on stage for the Multifamily Conference, and we've definitely done that, and we still have some people we haven't announced yet, so there's still some more surprises coming up
and more budget to spend.
You don't want to know the budget. So we have 10x the budget, you could say.
And it's not even an all-day event. There are night events.
Oh yeah. So we've got on Saturday there's like the CN Tower party, and then that's for VIPs. Platinums have their own party, so we have two parties on
they're in the basement of the CN Tower, right? The Platinums.
No, we've got.
So you don't want platinum. You want VIP. You don't want platinum. No, so actually no. Where are the platinum people?
Yeah, so the platinum, they're actually we've got a venue at the MTCC, so you don't have to go very far for the platinum networking party. And then Sunday night, that's our last year. Our after party was great. We had somebody end up in a bathtub at 4:00 in the morning. So
I heard it was a rager. That party.
It was great. So that's why we went with Rebel, and that's Sunday night. So we've got like a special VIP networking dinner, and then we're just hiring a DJ now. I think everybody will be very happy with that. And yeah, like lots of cool stuff.
What is Rebel for those who don't know? I'm sure some people are coming from out of town. Actually, I think there's a lot of people coming from out of town. People,
yeah. So last year we had people come from literally every state except Alaska and every province in Canada. So, and this year, because of the border situation's a lot more open, like we're attracting people from all over the place, which is like, it's a North American conference. But yeah, Rebel Nightclub is one of the top nightclubs in the city of Toronto. It's right on the water. So basically when you're at the, there's like a balcony there, you can look across the lake at the CN Tower, like you get the cityscape. Amazing location. And lots of really big artists have played there. Like I couldn't, as soon as I said we're going to run a huge like after party, I'm like Rebel. So we got it done. It'll be fun.
CN Tower can only be taught by Rebel.
And then like MTCC.
And then you have, but then you're working. Oh wait, we're not talking about what's after.
Oh well, we can allude to it.
We can allude. Yeah. I almost spilled the bag.
Yeah.
You shouldn't have told me anything.
Yeah. So we've got something special that hasn't been announced yet, and depending on when this airs, I'm not sure. But yeah, we've got like a 2-day something special for, like, we're running the Friday boot camp for beginners. Mm-hmm. We're putting something special together for more advanced people on the Monday, Tuesday, immediately after the conference.
Right.
And really excited about that. So it's going to be more for like experienced investors, like really looking to make some big changes in their business. I can't really say too much yet, but it's going to be a really cool 2 days.
Right. Yeah, I remember Grant did the same thing at the growth conference.
Yeah.
The stamina on the man.
That's right. Yeah.
And you're a lot younger than him, so you probably have like 10x the stamina.
I don't know about you. Like after your conference, did you just go home and sleep? Like, did you just collapse?
Yeah, for about 3-4 weeks. Yeah.
I remember last year they lost my car keys because did I tell you about this?
No.
Okay, well here's a quick little tangent. So the conference ends, everybody's like taking stuff down. I go to my green room, and I'm like, oh shit, where's all my car keys? And like all my stuff was gone. So we had the staff everywhere looking for my keys, looking for probably an hour and a half looking for my keys. And it turns out somebody had collected my stuff and like given it to somebody who was no longer there with like the takedown crew. So anyways, we got my car keys. I got home and I just like collapsed. Like it was like my face hurt from taking so many selfies with people and everything. Like, you know, too, right? But yeah, I was done. So
I was a 1-day event.
Yeah.
You're 5.
Yeah, basically. And like I'm like teaching the boot camp on the Friday. I'm there Saturday, Sunday, and then myself and 2 other people will be running the advanced course. But
you're going to announce another 5 days after that because we're looking for 10x.
10x, yeah. I don't know. Like we're already talking about 2024 because like you know how these conferences go. Like they're beasts, right? And yeah, it's insane. It's insane.
It's a beast on a treadmill.
Yeah, actually, well, I ran a meeting this morning on my treadmill.
Nice.
So getting my steps in. I see your treadmill over there. So
it's collecting dust mostly.
It is collecting dust. We'll get it out. But yeah.
No, because I just end up pacing. I just pace the office instead.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah.
What else? What else about the conference? What else should people know?
Oh, like basically, if you came to the conference,
there's a couple thousand people going. Can we say that?
Oh yeah.
Or should I not say that?
Oh yeah, we can say that. It's like we are the largest real estate investing conference in the country. Yeah. Like hands down.
Yeah, 10x the budget too.
Yeah. Every time I look at the budget, I start sweating. But
and 10x the speaker quality.
Yeah. Well, last year we had a great speaker lineup, and
I thought Kevin was awesome.
Kevin was great. Yeah. But this year, like we've got Grant and A-Rod and everybody else I mentioned. Like I'm so excited about that.
Speaking of Kevin, I actually enjoyed the pivot you guys had to do. Hope you don't mind me talking about it.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But because there was no meet and greet with Kevin because of his
the Screen Actors Guild.
Yeah. Can you explain what happened?
Yeah. So what happened because of all the
COVID,
the COVID stuff? Yeah, I didn't want to get you demonetized on YouTube by saying that. But yeah, because of all the COVID stuff, the Screen Actors Guild actually prohibited anybody who was contracted with them from doing meet and greets. Right. So Kevin.
Because he's on TV. So
because through Shark Tank, right? So he was speaking at our event. He still falls under that umbrella. And it wasn't coming from him. Like if it was up to him, he'd be like meeting everybody.
Right.
So yeah, it was unfortunate. So we did a Q&A with Kevin,
Which I thought was awesome.
which was great. Yeah. Actually we kind of took that idea and for this year. So with Grant Cardone, Grant's doing his main presentation, but then for VIP tickets, he's doing a special private session just for VIPs right after in the VIP area. So that'll be a chance to actually like ask questions and get more of a one-on-one kind of feel with Grant. So I'm actually really looking forward to that as well. Yeah. But we've got like 160,000 square feet for the event space. So like I haven't shown you, like wait until you see like the stage in the AV. Like speaking of 10xing the budget, like we had lots of fire last year on the stage.
10x the fire?
Oh, like that was Callan, my son's favorite part. So like he's like, no, more fire. It's like, okay, let's add some more fire.
Yeah. We saw some fighter jets fly in.
Yeah, because like, okay, so this was my pet peeve with like most real estate events, and I was actually having a conversation with somebody who'll be speaking at the conference about this. Like most real estate events you go to, it's like a ballroom, you've got round tables, you've got a PowerPoint presentation, and you're falling asleep. And like I'm a big fan of like needing the energy there, needing the the feel, and to get like you need the feel there plus the quality content. And not a lot of people merge the two. And that's my big vision for the conference. Like, yeah, we've got the fire, we've got the energy, but we also have like really good people on stage.
Okay. I thought you were going to announce a musical guest or something.
Oh, no. Yeah, Drake. Yeah. No, I don't have the budget for that. But actually, well, speaking of that, so for the after party, we were actually looking at some pretty major people to come in. Then I ran a survey, and everybody's like, I just want a DJ because I would just want to network and dance.
Yeah,
Great. But we were actually looking at bringing in some very like heavy-hitting musical acts. But people said they didn't want that, so we canceled that. So, but yeah, so the experience is there, and then we've got a huge trade show component. So we have lots of exhibitors ranging from services, education platforms, like you name it. We're still booking exhibitors there. So
you still have space for exhibitors?
Oh yeah,
I call them sponsors, sponsor booths.
Yeah,
sponsors. Do you still have room?
Bruce. Oh yeah, we've got so much space for that. So yeah, if you're interested, go to multifamilyconference.ca. We can hook you up with.
Is there a separate link? Is there a separate contact specifically for sponsors?
Yeah, there's a button right on the page, and then you'll get hooked up with our sponsorship team, and they'll take care of you. Like we do everything custom, right? So if you're looking for a specific
you're custom. I did cookie cutter.
Yeah. So but it's like,
you had a team. I did my own, so it's different.
Yeah. Exactly. So yeah, like if you're looking for a specific portion of the audience for what you're doing, like we can definitely do that. So yeah, we've got lots of demographic data. So.
Good. Yeah, because I borrowed from your presentation.
Yeah.
Thank you again for sharing that.
Oh yeah, no. It happened. Like I learned it from somebody else, yeah, happy. Like you've been such a good I would say like such a good I don't know support kind of friend
Step above a support animal.
Yeah. Well, I remember calling you being like the world's ending and you're like, oh no, everything will work out and stuff. So yeah, you've been so awesome ever since I started this kind of crazy idea. So yeah, thank you.
Happy to help.
Yeah.
I just enjoy helping.
Yeah.
And again, I've been through it, so.
Yeah, you definitely have.
Yeah, not 10x.
No, but that's just me being crazy. It's and Darcy's always on me. She's like, "You're doing what again?"
Yeah.
So.
The silly analogy just popped in my head. It's like when I drive on the 407, even though it costs money, I'm grateful because the damn thing costs billions of dollars, and I'm able to pay $20 to use it.
Exactly. And you know what? One of my very, very, very good friends, he's like a second father to me. He actually ran the legal team that did all the land assembly for the 407.
Oh my God.
Really cool. And the province,
mess.
The province did that all in house. They were going contracted out, and he was like, no, our legal team can do this. And it was a big shift in terms of how MTO and the government did their stuff. So yeah.
Well, my analogy would be to your conference would be pay a small amount to benefit from your 10x size budget.
Oh yeah, no,
100%.
Yeah, in our lowest price ticket, we still have some specials, but prices go up every week, right? Full price is $500. So $250 a day for like literally the top people in the space. I think that's a steal.
Yeah.
A steal.
And there probably isn't another opportunity to see A-Rod or Grant in Canada.
No, unless you go like, Grant runs his GrowthCon, but that's not a real estate specific event. Like we are real estate specific. So, plus networking, the quality of people, I literally got like hundreds of emails last year, messages from people after the conference. Like the most consistent thing was like the quality of the networking and the attendees. Like people were blown away. And like my phone still blows up. Like every week I still get people messaging me that came last year. Like one guy, he thought he was done investing. Like he's like, yeah, I had a good portfolio. He came to the conference. He's like, oh, I'm really missing a lot of stuff. So he sent me a message like a month and a half ago, and he's basically 3x his portfolio in less than a year since the conference, because he just saw what other people were doing. He got inspired. He learned some new stuff, and he basically went from being retired to now like more energized and invigorated with his investing. Like I love that stuff. Like that's the coolest part about running the conference.
So you do other things besides run conferences.
I
understand you're a real estate investor.
Yeah. Like the conference is like a beast. Like it's like
it's a business. Yeah.
It's a full-time job and a half. But yeah. So we like you alluded to like how it's hard for Canadians to invest in U.S. real estate, right? Talking about Grant.
It's complicated.
It's very complicated.
Because my understanding is the majority of folks are going with all cash.
It is
like financing is you can't get financing as a Canadian.
Well, yeah. So depending on like the size of the asset and how you're like structured.
I know, but I'm talking about like mom and pop. They're not buying assets.
They're
trying to buy a condo.
Yeah, for sure, 100%. Like it's tough. And so we're working on something right now that's top secret, but we're basically making the easiest way for somebody to invest in U.S. apartment buildings around. Like whether you've got $10,000 to invest or like $1 million to invest, it's going to be registered funds, whatever. Obviously, I'm not soliciting anything because it's top secret, but it's going to be.
You can't even buy it if you want, so you're not soliciting.
It doesn't even. Well, yeah. So, but yeah, I'm really excited. I've got two great partners working with me on this, and it's really going to like. I believe it's going to revolutionize how people invest in U.S. real estate from Canada. It's going to be so cool. I'm so excited.
We're not naming partners?
No, everything's top secret yet.
Okay.
But I think everything's on track to launch at the conference, which will be like really, really exciting because like there's a lot of legal work that goes into this.
Okay.
And accounting and structuring work. Like you should see like the structuring side, but that's on our end. Like for the Canadian investor, very easy, like the easiest thing you could imagine, which is important. Like I want it to be like really investor friendly, and that's like the main thing that I've always been really adamant about. It's just making it very simple and straightforward, easy to understand.
I believe everyone could use some passive diversification into the U.S.
For sure.
I think it'd be silly not to.
It is, the U.S. economy is a juggernaut. Like we are literally a drop in the bucket compared to the U.S. Like the U.S. is the home of capitalism.
Right. And I know we're saying U.S., but you've drilled down into much stronger markets.
Oh yeah, yes. So
you're not just throwing darts at a U.S. map.
No. Yeah, like I have 7 like key drivers I look at when we're looking at markets, and we're very selective in where we look.
Are we secretive about what states you're looking at?
Oh no, it's no secret. So yeah, so the fun whenever we launch this top secret product, but we'll be focusing in like Florida, Texas, Arizona, states like that where you've got the really solid growth drivers happening, good policy too, and really excited.
Yeah, landlord friendly laws.
Landlord friendly, like all that stuff.
Less taxes.
Yeah, and like if let's say you wanted to invest in like a U.S. syndication, number one, most U.S. operators don't know anything about CRA and the cross-border treaty. So
why should they?
Well, no,
we're dropping the bucket.
But that's the thing, right? So they don't know. They're not structured the right way. Yeah. You'll end up paying double tax. Nobody will know who to refer you to. Who knows what an EIN number is as a Canadian, and how you have to register for one, withholding tax, like all that stuff. So our goal is to eliminate all of that. We take that on ourselves and just make it super easy for the Canadian investor.
Just to make it clear, this is more like a real estate investment trust that people are buying into.
Yeah.
Because syndication, when some of the folks who've been around longer, they think syndication, they think like Fortress.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
yes. Yeah.
There's nothing like that.
Yeah, no. So there's a big difference between a mortgage syndication and equity syndication. So a mortgage syndication is, hey, somebody gets a whole bunch of investors together and they loan that money out on debt.
Yeah, it's a gigantic mortgage.
Yeah, for sure. And there's a time and place for syndicated mortgages. Lots of developers will use them, that kind of thing.
I probably won't put any money into it ever.
No. When I say syndication, and like for instance at the conference, Brad Sumrock, Grant Cardone, Janet LePage, all those speakers are talking about syndication and funds. Syndication there, we're talking about equity.
Yeah.
So you're writing a check and you're getting ownership of the actual asset in terms of equity, not debt. And then with equity comes depreciation. You get tax benefits, you get the cash flow, all that kind of stuff.
Dividends?
So when we talk about how people make money investing in multifamily real estate, you have your distributions. So you've got like the cash flow, all that kind of stuff, monthly, quarterly, however people structure it, and then you have capital events. So that's like refinances, sale of the asset, that kind of thing. So that's syndication. Where you were going with your question was, syndication is great for a project by project basis. So that was my focus before, where it's like, okay, we're going to do this asset, we're going to raise the money, we're going to take down the asset, manage it, and then we sell.
And the asset's like a 100-unit building.
Right. And then on the fund side, it's okay. Now the fund is going to go and acquire, let's say, 20 buildings. It helps the investor diversify over many buildings. It's the capital right now, and the reason why we're doing what we're doing now is we're really excited about the economic conditions at play right now. I think over the next 2 years, we're going to see a lot of good opportunity. So we want to make sure that we have the powder dry, so we have the money raised and ready to go, so we can pounce on these assets in a more efficient way. And because of the Canadian aspect, doing it the way we're doing it is like a million times easier than doing a syndication. So we're streamlining the process, making it easier for everybody, easier to understand.
And one can invest Canadian funds, or did they convert to US, or?
Yeah, so it would be they would invest using Canadian funds. Everything's tailored for the Canadian investor, and then obviously we have our US investors too, and they'll participate in a different way. But yeah, it's just going it's tailored for Canadians. I can't say too much right now, but it's just, I think it's going to be the biggest game changer in Canadian investing in U.S. real estate.
Whoa.
Yeah, it'll be huge.
Okay. You'll come back when you can share?
Yeah. Well, just come to the conference and you'll learn all about it.
Right, because it'll be announced there.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting.
Yeah, I'm so excited. The two other partners are really excited too.
Okay. Because one of your partners has to come on the show. I'll make sure that we'll schedule till after the conference.
Yeah. So it'll be I'm so excited because I've been working in the space, and when we all got together and said, hey, listen, these are the problems, this is what we want to do. It's this could be really huge.
For my own understanding, is this no different than a private equity REIT?
Well, REITs are different, right? So with a REIT, you're basically buying a stock of a company that happens to own real estate, right? And without getting into specifics, most of the time, you'll have a publicly traded REIT. You don't have the ownership benefits that come with having the equity side. So we're talking, think more like a private equity fund. Where you're investing in the fund will then go acquire assets, and you still have the ownership of that. It's not like you just don't own a piece of paper on a publicly traded company.
So then you did to do something similar to like for example, your sponsors at your last show. Do you need an exempt market dealer to represent you, or are you going to do it yourself?
Yeah. So
your securities license too.
Yeah. So with this comes a whole lot of compliance overhead.
Tons.
Tons. And you know, whenever, I think we talked about this last time I was on the show, with people who like raise money the wrong way. With
It's still happening. I can't believe it.
Yeah, I was in Ottawa a couple of weeks ago doing a talk there, and I had a conversation with Christian Spilfogel, and it's just it is ridiculous. Yeah, it is ridiculous.
Harry Stinson, I think, is out of business over this.
Oh, really? Yeah. Like it is insane. Like the amount of like trash people put up. Like you can't guarantee returns. Like you can't.
You can't solicit.
You can't. Like it's insane. So, anyways, like, compliance and everything. Yeah. So our plan, like everything runs through an EMD. We stay compliant. Like, and that's really important to me too. Like in terms of like doing everything above board
in order to be scalable.
Yeah, and it's just, you know, we've had some high profile people blow up.
Yeah,
and
epic.
It's really important to me. Like, you know, I want people to have confidence if they're investing in our top secret thing, that I'm not soliciting for in any way. But if somebody chooses to work with us in any way, like they should feel confident that, you know, it comes down to like our legal team, our accounting team, like we're working with some very top tier people to make sure it's the best product possible.
Right. And then also the most compliant, stringent laws in Canada.
For sure. Yeah. Like, well, and then we look at like capital raising laws in the US. So with us, because we're working on both sides of the border, we have to play well with the American laws as well as the Canadian laws. So that's why the legal team has lots of billable hours right now, making sure we're compliant everywhere.
Yeah, it's loaded.
Yeah, crazy. But yeah, like I'll be able to share more at the conference. Like if everything's on track now, we're doing some legal stuff right now. But it's going to be really, really exciting.
Is that the last hurdle? Just legal stuff?
Well, yeah. So like we're probably...
You already got the buildings under contract?
Well, no, but we've got a couple leads we're working on. We've got about 2 more months worth of legal, like securities kind of stuff and building things out. So... we should be on track.
That's exciting stuff.
Yeah, it's a really cool process. Like we're working with some very experienced people, and I'm in the space and I'm still learning about like the Canadian like cross border stuff too.
For anyone who's listening, you gotta be like wondering how Seth juggle all these things. He's getting married. He's got a conference for a couple thousand people. He's starting a fund.
Yeah.
And those properties are like a 4 or 5 hour flight away.
Yeah. So, well, with the fund, it allows, like we've got, we're talking with some very experienced people that are, that will be coming on board in terms of like acquisitions and everything. And we're talking like really, really cool people. So that helps. But honestly, like Katie, that's the answer. Like Katie's my director of operations. She runs everything. I would not be able to do anything without Katie. So hi Katie, if you're listening. But
Katie asked for a raise.
she got one after the last conference. but yeah, it's like time management. But like I think the thing I've learned is, you know, there will always be something to do, and I still struggle with this. So, you know, at the end of the day, there's always another 20 things I could be doing. So it just makes me prioritize and like think about, okay, well, what's going to have the biggest impact on the business or on what we're doing? And I'm finding is like I can actually drop some stuff and it doesn't necessarily have a huge impact. And I'm learning too, as kind of like the CEO kind of front person, is like I have to be very careful. Well, you've learned this too. Like I have to be very careful about where I put my attention, because like my schedule literally is like scheduled in 15-minute blocks. So like from the morning all the way to night, like 15-minute intervals. It's insane.
Mm-hmm. Insane. And your dad.
Oh, and yeah, plus my son and everything too. Like he's got hockey. Like I coach his hockey teams and everything. So yeah, it's a.
How old is he now?
He's 6.
And they play like regular, like full ice hockey?
No. It's like half ice. So it's like in the morning. So it's like tomorrow. It's like 8:30 in the morning, and the kids have like snot pouring down their nose, and it's fun. I like it.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah, it's good. It's good. But yeah, it's insane.
Are you gonna referee ever again?
You know, I did come back.
You have time for this? What are you talking about?
No.
I was just joking.
No. So like last year, actually, I came back. So before I was doing like, I'd gone to the States, did some hockey there, and then came back and worked the OHL for like 9 years, I think it was. I'm not doing
all around Ontario.
Oh yeah. Everywhere. I packed that in like 6 years ago. I retired. I didn't skate at all for 5 years, and then last year I actually started doing some of like like more local junior hockey, like once a week. So it gives me my hockey fix. So I stay within like an hour bubble. So like I'll do like University of Guelph, that's close, like Laurier and Brock, stuff like that. Keeps me fit.
I bet.
Yeah.
You gotta bust your butt.
Yeah, it's good. Actually, you know what the cool thing, like the thing for me is I wanted to prove to myself that I still had it because I hadn't done it for like 5 years, but it was like riding a bike. Like it was like I'd never left.
Does your son come to games?
Yeah. They he came to one at the Sleeman Center in Guelph like a month and a half ago. He loved it. Like it was like a full house. Like they had like 5,000 people there, and he loved it. Yeah.
They had 5,000 people there?
Well, yeah, it was a special event game. So usually they don't have that. Like with the OHL, like you go to London, like that place holds what, 10,000 people. It was awesome. Yeah, lots of fun.
You ever get like that "ref you suck" chant?
Oh, all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Get off your knees. Yeah. You're blowing the game.
The funny thing about the "ref you suck" chant, not about that, it's just like the hometown fans are all incredibly biased.
Oh, for sure.
You're out to get my team.
Yeah, but you know what? Like, you have to be kind of crazy. I'm not sure how we got on the subject of hockey, but yeah, like you have to referee at a high level. You have to be kind of crazy, and you have to like thrive on the pressure, because like you've got 10,000 people booing you, and like something happens, and like you have to make a split-second decision. Like you have to be very confident. You have to be able to adapt, and then you have to thrive under pressure. Yeah. And most people can't do that. Like it's a very specific personality type.
And live with mistakes.
Yeah. Well, I think maybe hockey helped me run a conference. I don't know. but yeah.
Because hockey fans have that memory. I'll never forget the like Kerry Fraser and Doug Gilmore. And
with the high stick.
Yeah. You know.
Yeah, and like Kerry wrote a book, and like growing up, his favorite team was the Leafs. So, but yeah.
We'll get off hockey though. You talked about fundamentals on the Friday of the event.
Yes.
You mentioned there's opportunity. You think there's opportunity in the next 2 years.
Yeah.
So I have my own biases where the market's going. Mm-hmm. What do you see in the market? Why is there opportunities?
Well, I think what's happening, especially
because the world's supposed to be ending. We're supposed to be going into recession and all this.
Oh well, the world's always ending. But yeah, like okay, looking at it specifically from like a multifamily, like a larger multifamily standpoint. Over the past couple of years, a lot of people got into deals in using bridge debt. So short-term debt, you're paying a lot more for interest rates. And then with the plan of rolling over into conventional financing after they implemented their value add program. What's happening now is those bridge loans are coming due, and interest rates are a lot higher, so they can't roll into another bridge loan. And the property values have dropped, or their business plan wasn't able to do what they wanted to do, or the property now can't qualify for conventional financing. So there's going to be a lot of people in some difficult situations coming up where it's a solid property. They just put the wrong type of debt on the property. So
they didn't have enough cash.
Yeah, they're stuck. They were over leveraged, right? They were stuck. And you can over leverage a house, you can over leverage a 5-plex, and you can over leverage a 200-unit apartment building. It doesn't matter. So for those reasons, I'm very much looking forward to the next 18, 24 months. And it's an opinion that's shared not only by myself, but the partners I'm working with and some other people I really look up to in the industry. So you'll be seeing some people making some big moves over the next couple of years, especially in the apartment space, in terms of like deploying an insane amount of money. Insane.
Right.
Yeah.
And that goes to the point why you're doing an equity syndication versus a debt syndication.
Yeah.
With equity, you don't have debt service.
Yeah, well, yeah. So
you don't have the same debt services these guys are probably dealing with.
Well, no. So just to clarify, we still put a mortgage on the property,
yeah.
Right? But the money we're raising is.
My point though is like, for example, is like the investor today will have a tough time putting like a HELOC, using a HELOC for a down payment and getting a mortgage. Now your blended rate's still over 6% somewhere.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Like you're using cash essentially. Investors are pooling cash, so there's no
Yes.
debt service on that money to be able to buy apartment buildings.
Correct. Yeah. And then, the profits are split with we can go into how everything's structured if you want, but yeah, like you have all the benefits of ownership. You get the depreciation, the tax credits, you have the strong cash flow multifamily provides, you have the stability, and then you have the appreciation aspect through, value add components. So to me, like if the market's getting rocky, I want to put my money in apartment buildings. Like you look at any other real estate asset class, apartments win hands down, looking at the past three recessions.
So the future's all bright sunshine and rainbows for
No.
multifamily.
No, like we still have lots of issues going on in the economy right now. We have lots of issues going on in the world, but I look at, if I look at the past three recessions, now obviously nobody has a crystal ball, but chances are if an asset performs a certain way the past three times, it's probably going to act somewhat similar the next time. Probably.
Yes.
So
if someone has a better asset class, please let us know.
Yeah.
Because we will come investing with money.
Yeah, exactly. And if you have a working crystal ball, let me know too, and I'll pay you $1 billion for it. But yeah. So if I'm expecting some choppy economic waters, which I think most people are, where do I want to put my money? Not in the bank. Very few places, but apartments, like it's proven performance. That's a great safe place for my money that's actually going to produce cash flow and appreciate.
Mm-hmm. And some diversification outside this country.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. And lots of people have differing opinions on what, the direction things are heading in the country and stuff like that. So, yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
And also you will be investing in a business that generates revenue in US dollars.
Correct.
That's not bad.
No, it's not bad at all.
Good stuff.
Yeah, interesting. That's why I'm so excited. But I can't tell you too much.
You're not soliciting money for this.
No, I am not. No entity has been we're still working on the legal stuff. So yeah.
Awesome. So where can people find out about the conference? Because everything seems like the world starts at the conference.
Yeah. My day starts with the conference and it ends with the conference. So yeah, the conference website is multifamilyconference.ca. And ticket prices go up every week. So the sooner you buy your ticket, the more you're saving. And just hurry, like VIP tickets are almost sold out. It's like the very best ticket we have. And then Platinum sold out last year, and we're selling a lot of Platinums too. So they will sell out as well.
But you don't want a Platinum because you end up in the basement.
You
want a VIP.
Well, yeah, VIP is like the top ticket, like for sure. And like the quality of people there, like who I know have bought a ticket, it's a really cool room. Yeah.
Yeah, Cherry and I are proud sponsors of the Multifamily Conference as well.
Yeah, you guys can come visit Erwin and Cherry. Like you guys have a booth there and everything too, and you guys will be working the room. So yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right. Any final thoughts, Seth?
No, just final thoughts. Just come to the conference. We'll have a whole lot of fun, and just appreciate everything you're doing.
Mm-hmm. Back to the 407 analogy.
Yes.
It's like watching these $300 million movies, which is pretty close to your budget.
Yeah.
And I pay like $16
Yeah.
for that ticket. And I'm like, I'm so grateful. Someone else spent all this money for me to enjoy this.
Well, you look at it, like I know what I'm paying people, right, to show up. And so, if you wanted an hour of their time, I know what you would pay for that.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So I've kind of taken that. We've got all these people on stage, and you're getting that for like a small, very small fraction of that. Like I think it's a no-brainer. Plus, like it's not, sure, you're coming to learn stuff. To me, the real value is the networking. Like if you're looking for an investor, somebody's there looking to place money. If you're looking for a potential partner, somebody's there looking for another partner. If you're looking for deals, somebody's got deals. Like there's so many stories from last year where people came, found what they were looking for, and have been able to take action on it. And that's why like Zoom networking drives me nuts. Like Zoom events are great, but like you're sitting in your pajamas eating food, like you're not networking. Like you have to show up in person, being in the room. And that's why I'm so passionate about, like, that's why I stuck to my gun last year with the conference. And for this year, like you have to be in the room. And that's why we have the 3 different ticket tiers depending on who you're looking for.
And the date again?
May 26th to 28th. It runs Friday to Sunday. And then stay tuned for an announcement for something on the Monday and Tuesday for like a more experienced operator.
Fabulous. Is there a ticket level that gets you into your bachelor party?
The bachelor party? Ooh, I think that would be the ultra VIP. We haven't come up with that yet.
Yeah. 10x the price for that one.
Yeah, to be honest, I haven't even I've been so focused on the conference, I haven't even thought of a bachelor party. So
we can discuss that after,
we're
done here.
We can discuss. Yeah, I'm actually doing an event in Vegas at the start of May. So maybe I'll write down some ideas.
Thank you so much, Seth, for doing this, for finding 15 minutes in your schedule for this.
No, I blocked off like an hour and a half for you, Warren. So
thanks so much, Seth.
No, thank you.
Thank you for watching. If you want to learn how to invest in real estate from scratch, my team teaches beginners how to use the #1 investment strategy that I personally use in a virtual free training class every month. Go to investortraining.ca/YouTube to register for our next class. The link is also in the description as well. I publish at least 2 to 3 videos a week here, so subscribe if you want to keep learning from seasoned investors like myself and my guests. And if you're just starting out, feel free to ask questions and comment below, and I do the best to answer each of those comments and questions myself. Again, if you're ready to learn the nitty-gritty about real estate investing from a professional investor, register for our next virtual class. That's at investortraining.ca/YouTube. Thanks again for watching. See you in the next video.